Hello, welcome back to the Retro Bike Shed. And this week I'm going to run you through another car boot sale bargain that I've picked up. As you know from a couple of weeks ago, my last video, I picked up the Schwinn Moab and the Carrera Mirage from the car boot sale, along with a load of other bits and bobs, all for 28 quid. The Schwinn I've stripped down. That was a donor a bike for donors, donor parts. Oh my god, can't get my words out. Simply, I wanted the wheels and all the other bits. It had some good bits on it. It's got some RockShox Judy C's down there from early 2000s. I'm gonna do, which I'm gonna be putting on one of my Kona builds. So that's why I wanted that. Hence why the frame's down bare. And the Carrera is standard, as it should be. So that one's going to be stripped down, cleaned up and serviced. Just like this one, which is this week's little car boot sale bargain. A Marin. I'm never any good at pronouncing that. Muirwoods. From around about the 96-97 era, I believe. But I need to do a bit more research on that. Yeah, tidy bike. If you'd seen my short from beginning of the week, this one was actually listed or had a sign on it at the car boot sale. Old BMX for sale, basically. It started off at £15. As the day went on, the seller had knocked the price down to a tenner. And knocked it back even further to £7.50. So I'd gone on down there. My boy had actually spotted it. I'd gone on down there and snapped his hand off for it for £7.50. I weren't going to leave that lying around. So yeah, happy days. It looks in pretty much original condition, components wise. There's a few marks around it, but it's still very, very respectable for the age. By the time I get in here and clean it up and give it a good polish up, we'll see how well it can come back up. But parts wise, starting at the front, it's all Shimano Alivio up top here. So that's levers and integrated 7-speed shifters. It's a 7x3, 21-speed setup. Original Marin bars. The grips have had it, both sides, both ripped. They're Tioga grips, so that's a shame, but still, never mind. Got the original Marin chromo stem in purple to match the decals. Moving on down, Shimano, I don't know how to pronounce that either. Is it Akira, Acera X, something like that? Cantilevers, that's front and rear. They are bolted to a set of RockShox Indy XC, which are working well. The adjustment at the top here also works. The seals are good, there's no leaks. They're nice, tidy. Again, for the age. Maybe replace some stickers if I want to make it look immaculate sort of thing. And they're all together, they're holding on a 26-inch, obviously. I believe this is an Aria, yeah, Aria rim. Laced up to a Shimano Alivio hub. Again, feels good. Feels good. Shame this tyre has had it. The walls are shot out on it, which is a shame. It's a nice tyre. That's plenty of life left on the top of it as well. But as you can see, they are completely, or it is, there it is, completely split in the sidewalls, which is a shame. But that is a Tioga Psycho 2. Nice tyre. Very big shame. Paintworks had it on this Marin bottle holder, bottle cage. It's a shame because that would have been in the nice purple as well to match the decals. Decals are all pretty good. That's a metal one by the feel of that. It is, that's actually metal, that one. Very nice. Down to the middle, we have Shimano Alivio front mech, strapped to, or not strapped to, but also a Alivio crankset. Shimano pedals. I will be keeping these myself, I would have thought, because of this. I've actually got the shoes for these, which I used to ride on my other mountain bikes, but yeah, when I sold one of them, I let the pedals go with it. Again, a Cura X, a Sarah X, whatever you want to call it, on the back. Now, being a Kona man, I actually recognise this tread pattern. This tyre is actually on back to front, and in the wrong place, on the wrong wheel. This looks like a Kona Smoke to me. Not Kona Smoke, Kona Sniff, sorry. But as it's clearly the wrong way, I can't actually get around there. May even be a scratch. Kona scratch. The walls are done anyway. There it is. It's actually a Kona Sniff. Where are we to? Yeah, there you go. Front tyre. Kona Sniff. That's a shame, that is. Ah dear. Again, it's in good nick, even though it is on backwards and back to front. But Alivio hub again, strapped to the same rim. Now, the only thing that is different on here, which I wouldn't say is right for the rest of the group set, is this Shimano rear mech, Shimano STX rear mech. Now, I don't think that is standard looking at the rest of the group set, but I will have another home for that, which is good. Could do one of these. It's in really good condition as well, so I will be swapping that out for a Shimano Alivio that I have in my parts bin. Yeah, other than that, we have a Cial Royal Shock gel seat, which is huge. And that is bolted down on a unbranded seat post by the looks of it. So either, happy days. So yeah, really happy with that anyway, £7.50. So this week's video, I'm going to strip this down. I'm going to clean it all up, give it a good service, put it all back together, and hopefully it just turns out quite nice. Anyway, right, I'm going to crack on, get this done, catch you guys in a bit. Alright then, let's make a start on stripping down this retro beauty. I do love these old 90s bikes. They, I don't know, bring back a bit of nostalgia for me, I think, from when I was a young teen. This one is, I've done a bit of research, and this one's actually confirmed to be in 1996. So yeah, quite chuffed with that. It's got the Tange custom tubing. Still, of course, chromoly. That rear mech there, as I've explained before, I'm going to give that a new home. I'm going to be looking for I have got an Alivio to match the rest of the gear on this bike. This bottom bracket, in a minute you'll see, it was a bit of a strange one. It baffled me a bit. It was actually undone. It wasn't actually tightened up in the shell there. Just found that a bit strange, but the shell's alright. I've checked the shell out, there's no cracks or anything. This bottle cage here, I'm going to try and keep this. I want to try and find some paint to match, so I can keep that on there. It goes perfectly with the decals. These are rear brakes. Everything on this bike is in pretty good condition, to be fair, for the age. And as I've explained earlier on, it all does look standard stuff. So, we'll give it all a strip down and a good clean up and re-lube everything. Moving on to the front now, look. The wheels feel nice on this, to be fair, there's no wobbling or anything like that. One thing I did find, though, with these cantilevers here, the threads on the bolts so long. That purple bridge there, that's going. I do not like that at all. I'm going to replace that with a Shimano one. But for now, we're going to just take it off and keep it with the front brake for a minute. Another really strange thing about this bike, which why anybody would do it, I'm not too sure, but these grips are actually glued on. They yeah, I don't know, that's baffled me, to be fair. I mean, why on earth would you do that? So yeah, cutting them off, but they are actually falling apart as I was pulling them off. So that's going to need a good rub down with a Scotch pad or something to try and get all that rubber out. These outer cables I'll be keeping hold of, just for reference for when I fit in some new ones. The shifters, I've noticed, they're not shifting properly. Quite lazy. Sometimes they don't even shift to the next gear. So I'll be ripping them apart and giving them a good clean up and a service. I expect there's just a bit of old grease in there that's gone hard. A bit of grime and that in there. It happens. It was at this point I found another common problem with these older steel frame bikes. The stem was actually stuck. Luckily this one didn't take too much sorting out, to be fair. A lot of penetrating oil. A hammer and a long screwdriver, managed to sort it out. Got it loose enough to pull out. Little tap with a hammer and screwdriver from underneath, and there it goes, it's popped loose. Now a bit of good old elbow grease and wiggle it free. Now for the last bit, the headset. I always unwind these and try and keep the bits in order of how they come off. I'm forever mixing up bits, getting it in the wrong order. So now I use a cable tie just to put it all on in the way it will come off, and then that way I don't mix the bits up. Just a little tip for you there. And there we go. Right, that's that stripped down. Nice frame actually, really chuffed with that. It's the Towns tubing, custom tubing frame. So it's a good quality frame, good quality tubes. Yeah, it's alright. I had a good look over it. There's obviously wear and tear, scratches, marks. I'm not going to strip this back and spray it. I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'm going to run some T-cut for it. Try and get the paint back as well as I can, and try and get some of these scratches and these other little marks out, and then run over it with some polish, give it a good clean up. Parts wise, Well, the chain's shot, the chain's knackered, so we need a new chain. These outers, I'm not keeping them, they're just there for reference. When I put new outers on, I know where to cut them. That's why I keep hold of them. Something I did find a bit strange. The grips seem to have been glued on. Never seen that in my entire life with tinkering around with bikes, and yeah, I did find that a bit odd. It threw me a bit. So everything else is here. Seems to be working fine. Shifters need a service. They're a little bit lazy, so I'll strip them apart and give them a service. As you've seen, while I was stripping it back, the stem was actually stuck, but it didn't take a lot to free that up, thankfully. The pedal on this pedal arm is not coming off. I've got no ways of heating it, so unfortunately it's going to have to stay. I've tried everything. I've tried breaker bar, I've tried everything with that, and it's had plenty of penetrating oil. It's just not moving, so unfortunately that's got to stay on there. The bearings are pretty good, it's moving quite well, so that's not an issue. The headset, I like to keep it all in order on a cable tie, so I don't lose anything, and that way you never forget what way it goes back on as well. The only time I take that out is when I clean it up. Front derailleur, rear mech, rear derailleur. This STX, I'm going to swap this STX out for an Olivio, Shimano Olivio, which will match the rest of the group set from it. And I've got a better home for this STX derailleur as well. Front and rear brakes, don't like this. I will be getting rid of that and replacing it with another Shimano. Bridge, that's just me. Bottom bracket, the bottom bracket wasn't actually in the frame properly. As you've probably seen, I put the tool on it and it actually moved. I didn't actually put any pressure on the tool, I just near as damn it unwound it by hand. I don't know why it was so loose, but there you go. I thought the bearings had gone, but although the bearings are grindy, it's not actually wobbling about. But even so, I'm going to replace it. It looks like the original, very old, very dirty, and it is grinding about, so that would be replaced. And we'll come down to the forks. Good condition. Really happy with these forks actually, and they seem to work well. They compress well. They spring back up well. I am going to pull them apart and give them a service. Just make sure the elastomers inside aren't all knackered and they're okay. Clean this bit of surface rust off there as well. Whether I replace the stickers or not, I don't know. I might just try and clean it up and see where we get from there. I may replace them if needs be. Yeah, other than that, on the wheel set, they feel good, they seem good. The chain had a hell of a lot of wear on it, it was knackered out, so I'm thinking I may replace the cassette as well. Because no doubt with the amount of wear on that chain, I mean the chain guide thing just fell straight through it really. Yeah, it's just shot, so probably replace the cassette with it. Other than that, guys, that's part one for you. So in part two, in the next video, I will be cleaning everything up, making it all shine nice and shiny again, hopefully. Giving it all a lube up, replacing bits that I need to replace, stripping them apart and servicing them. And then I'm going to run some polish and some T-cut and some polish over the frame. Try and get rid of some of these marks. I'm not going to get rid of all of them, obviously. Same with the fork. I shall pull the fork apart and have a look. See what's going on inside there. And if anything, and then go from there. So that'll be in part two of the video. But for now, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy. And I'll catch you on the next one. See you again.